The popular Prince Mateen was Asia's most eligible bachelor until January 11th, when he tied the knot with Anisha Rosnah.
Prince Mateen, Brunei's most eligible bachelor, has finally tied the knot in a wedding that captivated millions. The world watched in awe as the charming prince exchanged vows with Anisha Rosner in a grand celebration that felt straight out of a fairy tale. The streets of Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei's bustling capital, were alive with excitement. It wasn't just another royal wedding, it was the royal wedding. The marriage of Prince Mateen, the fourth son of Brunei's Sultan, and Anisha Rosner, a stunning woman with a fascinating multicultural background, was an event that drew attention from all corners of the globe. Royalty, dignitaries, and celebrities flocked to witness the extravagant ceremonies, eager to see the love story of the century unfold. But, as much as this wedding began as the stuff of dreams, it soon became a spectacle that left the world stunned. What appeared to be a perfect union of love and tradition quickly spiraled into something much darker. What seemed like a fairy tale romance soon took an unexpected twist, catching everyone by surprise. Behind the glossy photos, the dazzling celebrations, and the endless media coverage, there was a story waiting to be told. A story of unexpected tension, media scrutiny, and an unfolding drama that no one saw coming. Prince Mateen, however, had had enough. The pressure and the rumors eventually led him to speak out, breaking his silence on Anisha Rosner and leaving everyone speechless. What was behind the fairy tale facade? What had really been happening behind the palace gates? But before we dive into the controversies, let's explore the life of Prince Mateen and how he became the man at the heart of this royal saga. Prince Mateen's early life and royal heritage. Born on August 10th, 1991, Prince Mateen entered this world not just as a royal heir, but as the 10th child and 4th son of Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, ruler of Brunei, one of the wealthiest and most influential monarchs on the planet. From the moment he drew his first breath, Prince Mateen was destined for greatness. Imagine being born into a family where tradition, privilege, and responsibility blend into a single, ever-present force. For Prince Mateen, this wasn't just a birthright, it was a way of life. Raised within the confines of Brunei's royal family, his childhood was shaped by the weight of history and the expectations of a nation. But what set Prince Mateen apart wasn't just his title, it was his relentless drive to carve his own path, one defined by achievement, intellect, and a deep sense of duty. While many children of royalty might be content to enjoy a life of luxury, Prince Mateen had a different vision. His education began at St. Andrew's School in Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei, where he excelled in his studies. But this was just the beginning. He moved on to Paduka Seri Begawan Sultan Science College before making his way to the prestigious Jerodong International School. But it wasn't just about books and grades for Prince Mateen. His journey was about laying the groundwork for a future that spanned far beyond the palace walls. In 2014, he pursued higher education at King's College in London, earning a degree in international politics. But he didn't stop there. Hungry for knowledge, he continued his academic journey, adding a master's in international studies and diplomacy from the School of Oriental and African Studies at the University of London in 2016. This wasn't just about personal growth. It was about preparing for a leadership role on the global stage. However, education wasn't the only area where Prince Mateen thrived. His commitment to military service marked a defining chapter in his life. At just 18 years old, he entered the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst, one of the world's most esteemed military institutions. There, he completed a rigorous 44-week commissioning course that tested his endurance, intelligence, and resolve. In 2011, he graduated as a second lieutenant, and his father, the Sultan, was there to watch with pride. But this was just the beginning of his military journey. Prince Mateen's military career continued with the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, a prestigious unit steeped in history. By 2016, he had risen to the rank of acting captain, and by 2021, he was promoted to major. His dedication didn't stop at the ground. His passion for aviation led him to complete elementary flying training at RAF Cranwell, where he earned his wings. But the prince wasn't satisfied with just flying. He went on to conquer parachuting and commando training in the UK, proving that no challenge was too great for him. Beyond the military, Prince Mateen's influence extended into the world of diplomacy. In 2015, he represented Brunei at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Malta, a key diplomatic event that showcased his ability to navigate international relations. He continued to represent Brunei on the world stage, meeting with leaders in Jordan, Japan, and the UK, strengthening Brunei's global presence. But his life wasn't all about duty and service. Prince Mateen is also a man of passion, with interests ranging from polo to fitness. He has represented Brunei in the Southeast Asian Games, even winning the prestigious Gold Cup at the 48th Torneo Internacional de Polo in 2019. And his love for fitness led him to found Jab Boxing Gym in Brunei, a gym designed to make fitness and boxing accessible to everyone, further demonstrating his commitment to the well-being of his people. While his life was marked by achievements and global connections, Prince Mateen's personal life took a surprising turn with the arrival of Anisha Rosner, who would soon become the woman to capture his heart and the center of a royal drama no one could have predicted. The introduction of Anisha Rosner. Born on November 6, 1994, Anisha Rosner wasn't just another royal associate. She was a woman with a story as captivating as the man who would one day become her husband. With a unique blend of Brunei Malay and Croatian heritage, she was destined to stand out from the crowd. Anisha's upbringing was far from ordinary. Raised in a family where cultures collided and worldviews expanded, she embraced the best of both worlds. Her mother, a Bruneian Malay, and her father, a Croatian known as Adam Isa Kalik, gave her a diverse perspective on life, a perspective that would shape her into the global citizen she is today. Growing up in Brunei, Anisha's connection to the royal family was undeniable. Her grandfather, Pind Isa, was a close advisor to the Sultan himself, making Anisha not just a local, but a figure intricately tied to Brunei's elite circle. From an early age, she was no stranger to the inner workings of Brunei's royal world, often seen at high-profile events and immersed in the country's traditions. This deep connection to royalty was more than just a privilege. It was a gateway to understanding both the responsibility and the glamour of life in the public eye. But while she was surrounded by royal splendor, Anisha's ambitions were much larger than simply being a royal companion. Her academic journey would take her far from the familiar streets of Bandar Seri Begawan. She started her schooling at Jedong International School in Brunei, a place where her sharp intellect shone through. But that was just the beginning. With a thirst for knowledge, she pursued further education at the University of Birmingham in the UK, studying European studies with a focus on French and Spanish. Her studies took her to the heart of Europe, where she lived and studied in Paris and Madrid. The cultural immersion was more than just educational. It was transformative. Anisha absorbed everything Europe had to offer, from language to history, and developed a deep appreciation for international perspectives that would later fuel her entrepreneurial ventures. Upon returning to Brunei, Anisha didn't just step into a traditional role. She launched herself into the world of business, and in doing so, crafted a legacy of her own. She founded Silk Collective, a fashion label that brilliantly fused Brunei's rich textile heritage with modern fashion sensibilities. The brand's commitment to quality, sustainability, and elegance earned Anisha a reputation as a forward-thinking designer who was blending tradition with innovation. But fashion wasn't the only realm where Anisha left her mark. She co-founded Authentic, a travel agency designed to provide immersive cultural experiences, offering a deep dive into the true essence of countries across the world. For Anisha, it wasn't just about business. It was about creating meaningful connections between people and the places they visited. Her entrepreneurial ventures reflected her desire to build bridges, not just between cultures, but between the old and new worlds. While Anisha was making waves in business, her connection with Prince Mateen grew stronger, leading to one of the most anticipated royal weddings in recent history. But how did this business-savvy woman with a global mindset find her way into the arms of Brunei's most eligible bachelor? The royal romance. In the glittering world of royalty, where every glance is scrutinized and every gesture is analyzed, the bond between Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner didn't go unnoticed. What started as a quiet connection soon became one of the most talked-about romances in Brunei. Their story wasn't one that screamed for attention at first. In fact, it was subtle, growing in the background, hidden beneath the veil of royal duties and public appearances. But as Prince Mateen and Anisha began to appear together at more and more royal events, whispers started to circulate. The subtle smiles they shared, the way their eyes locked across the room, small gestures that no one could ignore. Royal watchers and the public began to notice the chemistry between them, and soon, rumors of their relationship started to spread. At first, it seemed like a quiet connection, one that might be overlooked by the constant buzz surrounding Brunei's royal family. But that couldn't be further from the truth. With every public event, whether it was a royal wedding, a diplomatic gathering, or a national celebration, Anisha and Prince Mateen's closeness became more undeniable. Their shared moments sparked curiosity, and the public began to speculate, is there something more between them? And then, in October 2023, the speculation came to a screeching halt. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, the beloved ruler of Brunei, made an official announcement that sent waves of excitement through the country. His son, Prince Mateen, was engaged to Anisha Rosnah. The news wasn't just a local headline, it was a global event, one that had fans and royal observers from all over the world eagerly awaiting what was to come. The announcement was made official through Brunei's national broadcaster, Radio Television Brunei, and with it, the countdown began. The wedding, set for January 2024, was now a reality. It was the royal wedding the world had been waiting for, a union that combined tradition, culture, and modernity. It was the culmination of a relationship that had bloomed quietly but was now ready to take center stage. The excitement wasn't limited to Brunei. Fans and well-wishers from across the globe began to prepare for what many were calling the wedding of the decade. The royal family's Instagram accounts flooded with images and messages of joy, sharing moments of their engagement. Prince Mateen posted a heartfelt New Year's message featuring a photo of the couple standing side by side, glowing with happiness. Anisha, wearing a cream blazer, and a stunning diamond engagement ring, looked every bit the part of a future royal bride. With the wedding confirmed, excitement reached a fever pitch, but little did anyone know the journey to their big day would be filled with unexpected hurdles. The fairy tale was about to meet its first major twist: the wedding extravaganza. When Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner said "I do," it wasn't just another royal wedding. It was a 10-day celebration that transformed Brunei's capital into a dazzling spectacle of opulence, tradition, and culture. This wasn't simply a wedding, it was a breathtaking display of Brunei's royal heritage. Imagine the streets of Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei, lined with gleaming lights and vibrant decorations, a city alive with excitement. For 10 days, the city became the stage for one of the most extravagant weddings the world had ever seen. Every corner was transformed into a celebration of love, tradition, and royal splendor, as the union of Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosnah captivated not just the people of Brunei, but royal watchers worldwide. The celebrations kicked off with the Khatam Quran ceremony, a sacred event that set the tone for the wedding. This wasn't just any religious ceremony, it was a deep reflection of Brunei's cultural and spiritual values. The entire country paused as the Quran was read, ushering in a sense of reverence and anticipation. Then, all eyes turned to Anisha, who stepped forward for her first bridal appearance. She wore a stunning baju kurung, custom designed by the talented Tifo. The dress, intricately woven with Tunan Brunei, a traditional local textile, was a visual masterpiece, symbolizing Anisha's deep connection to Brunei's heritage. Her grace and elegance were undeniable, but it was the deep meaning behind her attire that truly resonated with everyone present. But that was just the beginning. The wedding took a historical turn with the Ist Adat Bak ceremony, a centuries-old tradition. As the couple stood before their families, Anisha and Prince Mateen participated in the application of scented paste, a blessing for a prosperous, happy, and fertile life together. The ceremony was nothing short of regal, as Prince Mateen made his grand entrance, accompanied by 40 spear bearers, while a 17-gun salute rang through the air. Then came the Akad Nikah ceremony, held at the stunning Omar Ali Saifuddin Mosque. Prince Mateen, dressed in traditional white wedding attire adorned with diamond motifs, stood between 4 ceremonial candles on a sacred mat, marking the solemnization of their union. This moment was a perfect blend of tradition, spirituality, and grandeur, an unforgettable occasion for both the couple and the nation. The final act of the celebration was the bear sending ceremony, followed by a citywide procession. Anisha and Prince Mateen, now officially husband and wife, waved to the cheering crowds from a vintage Rolls-Royce as the streets of Bandar Seri Begawan exploded in joy and celebration. And of course, no royal wedding is complete without a lavish banquet. The grand reception was attended by 5,000 dignitaries, including royal figures from across the world. The food, a gourmet feast that spanned continents, with everything from traditional Brunei delicacies to international delights. Anisha's bridal attire for the banquet was another showstopper, a breathtaking off-white gown, complemented by a dazzling diamond tiara passed down through the royal family, a symbol of the continuity of tradition. Though their wedding was a fairy tale come to life, the couple soon found themselves at the center of intense public scrutiny. The once celebrated romance was about to face a harsh new reality: the dark side of royalty. Behind the dazzling glamour of Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner's fairy tale wedding, a darker story was unfolding, a story of media storms, cyberbullying, and relentless public scrutiny that threatened to overshadow their love. What was meant to be a moment of joy and celebration soon turned into a nightmare for Anisha Rosner. The moment she and Prince Mateen announced their engagement, a wave of public attention came crashing down. At first, it seemed like a natural reaction to the royal couple's news, but soon, the media's fascination with Anisha spiraled into something much darker. What started as curiosity about her life and background quickly morphed into invasive scrutiny of her every move. Anisha's past, which many felt was none of their business, became a point of contention. Speculation mounted about her influence on Prince Mateen, with some accusing her of being the force behind the end of his previous relationships. But the real firestorm began when critics started pointing to her lifestyle choices before her marriage, accusations that she wasn't royal enough to fit the mold. Her Western-style appearances, the photos of her at parties and public events in the past, were now dissected in the press. Critics began to question the authenticity of her transformation. Was it a genuine shift in values, or a calculated attempt to fit into Brunei's conservative royal court? As Anisha adopted a more modest style post-marriage, some saw it as an insincere attempt to gain acceptance in a culture with strict expectations. But the real toll came from the online backlash. With every media storm, Anisha was thrust further into the public eye, and the harassment grew unbearable. Cyberbullying targeted her personal life, with countless hateful comments, rumors, and invasive criticism flooding her social media accounts. In response to the relentless barrage, Anisha made the difficult decision to delete her personal accounts and retreat from the digital world. Her step back was a desperate attempt to protect her mental health and regain some semblance of privacy. But the damage had already been done. The constant pressure took a toll, leaving Anisha vulnerable and in tears behind the palace walls. The weight of the public's judgment was becoming too much to bear, and her quiet withdrawal from the spotlight only fueled more rumors. As the whispers about her continued, there was growing discontent among some members of Brunei's royal court. Insiders speculated about Anisha's true role in Prince Mateen's life, questioning whether she truly belonged in the royal family. Could she adapt to the rigid expectations of the court, or was she always destined to be an outsider? The relentless media attention and public criticisms reached a tipping point, prompting Prince Mateen to break his silence, defending the woman he loved and making it clear that the public's judgment would no longer define their relationship. Prince Mateen speaks out. The world watched as Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner's love story unfolded like a royal fairy tale. But the relentless public scrutiny took its toll. Then, in a moment that stunned everyone, Prince Mateen broke his silence, publicly defending the woman he loved and questioning the harsh judgment she had faced. It was a moment that many had been waiting for. The moment when Prince Mateen would finally address the mounting pressure on his wife, Anisha. For months, rumors swirled, and Anisha had been the target of media attacks and social media outrage. The couple had remained mostly silent, allowing the whispers to grow louder with each passing day. But behind the palace gates, things were not as they seemed. The constant scrutiny had taken a heavy toll on Anisha. The judgment of her past, the accusations, the criticisms about her public image had worn her down. Behind closed doors, Prince Mateen saw the emotional toll it took on his wife. The woman who had once been vibrant and confident now withdrew into herself, retreating from the very public that once celebrated their love. Finally, Prince Mateen had had enough. With a sense of frustration and protectiveness, he took to the public stage, delivering an emotional address that left no room for doubt about where his loyalty lay. In his speech, he questioned why the public felt entitled to judge Anisha's past. Why does her past matter so much, he asked, when it is her present that defines her and the future we are building together? His words were powerful, raw with emotion. The prince was clearly tired of seeing the woman he loved continuously dragged through the mud. "I have no concerns about Anisha's life before me," he said, "so why should anyone else? What truly matters is who she is today and the love we share now." He expressed his frustration with how easily the public could disregard someone's growth and the complexities of their journey simply because of their past. This was a public declaration of support that went beyond words. It was a proclamation of his commitment to her, no matter what. But as much as Prince Mateen spoke with passion, he knew the toll this ongoing scrutiny had taken on their private lives. Anisha's decision to retreat from social media, to step away from the spotlight, was not an easy one. She had become a target, and the constant pressure had pushed her to find peace in the quiet moments, away from the world's prying eyes. In a candid moment, Prince Mateen shared how they had both struggled with the weight of public expectations. He spoke about how their bond had grown stronger in private, in the spaces where they could be themselves, free from judgment. They had learned to cherish these moments and to live quietly, away from the constant buzz of royal duties and media coverage. In the end, what matters most for Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner is their bond, a bond unshaken by the noise of the outside world. Their love, built on trust, respect, and a shared vision for the future, remains their most precious treasure, one that no amount of media scrutiny can diminish. At the heart of every royal story lies a truth that the media often overlooks: the complexity of the relationships behind the glamour and headlines. Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner's love story is no different, and as we've seen, it's far more than what the public eye can capture. In a world where every moment of royal life is scrutinized, it's easy to forget the struggles that come with living under the microscope. For Prince Mateen and Anisha, their journey together has been one of resilience, navigating both the joys and challenges of love in the public eye. Despite the noise and judgment from the outside world, their bond remains unshaken, a testament to their strength as individuals and as a couple. As we reflect on their story, it's clear that true love is never as simple as it seems. Behind every headline is a complex human story, and the strength to endure is often found in the quiet moments between two people. What do you think about Prince Mateen and Anisha Rosner's journey? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more.